Oh. Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're going to be taking a look at a Patreon request. Shout out to Beth for the request. It's going to be Bicycle, but it is Kirsten Dodgen's choreography. I do know that a lot of people reference this choreo, and when they think about Kirsten just in a choreographic context, this is like that go-to track, or this is her track when it comes on, you know? At least in the shows that I have seen her involved in over the past year. So I'm very excited about it. How I navigate with class footage is we take a look at the very first take. I'm assuming the one that's going to have Kirsten in it. And then after analyzing the content with her, we're going to look at all the other groupings and kind of see how they tackle the choreo as well. So without further ado, let's check it out. Now, fun fact about this room, I've danced in this room before, back in 2017. It is a lot smaller than you think it is. They try to squeeze in 100 people in that mess. Oof. What a workout. Love it. Yo, she's looking like she's having so much fun. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Oh, love it. Okay, let's take it a look. It's short and sweet. Here's the thing. I'd love to learn this choreo in this class because it ain't even a minute long. It is straight. It's just straight full out energy. But for me, I always prefer, I'd rather take a routine that is fun, a vibe. I can tell the choreographer is enjoying it. She is living it up. I want to get behind that more so than somebody who's like tolerating the space and is just teaching choreo out of obligation for their time slot. There are people like that. Some of you guys can attest to that. This is freaking sick. Love it. It is right up the alley of what to expect from a Kirsten choreo. Totally a fan of it. I'm trying to see if I know anybody in this group. Possibly. I don't think so. They got the masks on. It's during that era. But how they drop it back. Notice the weight. Very, very placed. The bounce though, boom, boom, and then right there, finishing off that rebounded bounce and triggering up to like the most ginormous body roll you can do. Then from there, we go right there into a network. Goodness gracious. But notice she syncopates it, which she goes network into a syncopated build up with the hands. So she makes some more staccato in the torso. From there, she digs it through D. Look at the smile. I know she's probably thoroughly enjoying dancing with these girls. And I would be too. This is amazing. Dinging and boom, boom. There's also a chance too that these could be people that are guest spots, because whenever you do host a class in these types of formats, you do have guest spots available. And so sometimes the choreographers give that to assistants. They give that to friends who learn the choreo, so they just have extra bodies in the room, especially if it's a film class. That's just kind of one of those dynamics. And so there's a good chance that some of them are guests, or they all personally know each other. A lot of times when you see the choreographer dance with people, most of the time, I'm not saying all, most of the time they're going to be dancing with people that they know, or they know is going to hold it down, you know, like regulars, class regulars, or people who are signed on the same agency as them, or who take their class often, you know, like, well, it's just also a regular. It's stuff like that. But I know this is a guest spot. I love that. Bing, ding, ding, ding. Very clear, but very full on where exactly everything is supposed to hit. And then right there, she hits it, boom. And then from there, she lets the hips initiate and get her body to come right back up in that. Love that. Once again, T. Notice she like had little guns on her hips. That was fun. And notice the flow never stops. It just shifts and deviates to different parts of her body. So notice we had this action, we had the hips, and then now they rotated it over to the side. Love the choice of using that back, bringing it back, projecting it back, hitting it through using the back, and then taking the hands you're letting that initiate the energy to travel it down. Like I said, flow never stops. It just goes to different spots. So the trickiest part of the choreo, of course, is going to be your stamina. If your body is not familiar with moving in fullness within your ISOs, this is going to be tricky as well. If you've taken, I mean, if you've tried Latrice's choreo before, to click like, if you took the click like challenge, that you notice that very quickly. A lot of how she hits it is there's a lot of extra hip, there's a certain type of hip rotation that she does that is so natural, but by how she does her weight distribution in her feet. And that is just a part of her culture, and that is an implicit thing. I talk about it all the time. Kirsten, this is an implicit thing at this point, especially with how she's been trained. She was trained in a royal family, and all of this is in the wheelhouse of the royal family pocket. It is. I know Paris tried to coin it as like poly swag, which is just a mix of syncopated afro is really how I would call it, where they like have a nice little femme. It's like a sexy afro. It comes across that way with a heavy staccato accent and a lot of syncopation. So I like it though. I'm always a fan of it. Her smile is so genuine. And I'm just so proud of Kirsten for her to be able to like make a name for herself. Like Kirsten is Kirsten. Like she's not Kirsten of Royal. She's Kirsten Dodgen, right? So, and I love the fact that I really do think that some of the things that we've noticed, like with the Street Fighter series, or Street Woman Fighter and Street Dance Girl Fighter, it's really nice to see her in a mentorship role. And it's nice to see her and have people enjoy the space with her. I love that little flick with the leg, diving it down. And this groove right here, they're pushing the hips out, pushing the butt out as they're switching between the heels. And then we drop it down, everything drop. And then notice there, boom. And then they add a little, then extra roll that happens before they reset it back up. They kick, boom, boom. Love this right here. Then they go boom, ting, ting, ting. And then they drop it over to the side, 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 and a dee, 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 dee. And they dig it over. And notice that they have a little dig that's happening over to help within the transitions. A lot of her movements are utilized on both sides too. So that's another thing. A lot of Afro grooves, what I love about them is that it feels, a lot of them are really enjoyable to do, and they're programmed to do on both sides. And that's what I really appreciate about Afro, and that's why a lot of times as you train in it, you become more balanced in that style compared to other styles you may do. Because a lot of styles, specifically in the studio side, a lot of dancers have a dominant side when it comes to certain turn sequences that they do, certain lead progressions that they do. They have a dominant side. Here, it's very balanced in terms of usage of the right and the left sides. Of course, there could be a dominant side in the polyrhythmic sequences, but at the end of the day, though, you have to be familiar with both sides to really appreciate the options that you're given for a choreo like this. So I really like it. It looks great on her. It looks great on everybody that she has. And look at the hinge that she has. She's pushing that weight over to that left side. Looks freaking great. Thinking it through, doing ting, 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 picking up that leg. Hit, hit, hit. Brings it up. Then notice they have a little break, but not really. It just resets and slows it down, and then diving it down for the feet pick up on that. Bringing it down, throwing it around. Really enjoy that choice as well. Little tap tap. That's the end of the choreo. And then she has her moment. She's just having a whole freaking vibe. Da, 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 da. And then she brings it over, digs it around. Notice that she hits it, usage of her hip to help guide her in that. She hits it around. Nice little freestyle moment. Then she drops it down. She shakes. Nice little twerk in action. And it hits on that. Da, 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 da. So she syncopated it great. And she's just, honestly, she's just having the time of her life. And notice that she's vibing it out with everybody. Oh, I think that's Sienna right there. Yeah, I think that's Sienna. And, oh, there's a good chance Jaylee's here, too. That's Sienna's sister. But I love the energy on that. Yeah, they dig it. Oh, Sienna wasn't in that group. Okay, we're going to see Sienna. I bet your bottom dollar we are. Hold on. Yeah, Sienna was not in this group. She's going to be put in a different group. She's going to body this, because if there's Kirsten of the older era of Royal, when it comes to like the go-to girl, Sienna has now become that on the Paris side, but also she's making a name for herself. She always has. She did a fantastic job. Yeah, this all in all, it's really nice to watch. I'm trying to think who this is in the back. Do I know that? No, I don't think I do. But yeah, such a vibe, so full. Everybody is dripped in sweat. It's just that kind of space, and yes, it is that hot. Sometimes the front mirror gets so foggy. It's just straight sweat. And we finished it up. So that was great. So with Kirsten, no qualms. Great combo. I'm very excited to see everybody else's take on it. Here we go. Yeah, what did I freaking tell you? Seeing it right there front and center, as she should be. So it feels like there's some lab people represented. God. Sienna, girl, oh my God. If you don't know Sienna, she's choreographer XG. She's also choreographer BTS as well. Versatility out the wazoo. She's always been versatile. She's phenomenal. I've always loved watching her dance. Yes, ma'am. Oh! Y'all saw that, right? That was sick. I'm sorry. We need it. This is, yes. Woo! Yes. Oh my God. That was good. There's one moment that we do need to talk about. So if you notice with Sienna, how she hits it is so different, but she vibes so well. Gosh, dripped. Look at that. That is not water. That is your freaking sweat. Girl, working hard in this class. Now, this girl over here, I do see her pretty often. I think I've seen her more like Matt Stefanina stuff, so it's cool to see her in this class. No, they hit it down, boom, boom, and notice her ISO as she waves this mess up. Look, so she's going to wave it up. So good. Watch this. Oh, she goes, she actually stops at the chest, and then she uses her jacket to finish it. Oh, yeah, and you can tell this is Sienna implicitly murdering Kirsten's piece, but it's because they have a lot of overlapping work and overlapping projects. So, Paris being that common denominator. But Sienna's always hit in this way. It's just really dope. Yeah, ding, ding, boom, boom. Yeah. Right there, digging it through once again, just with the little twists of the hips. It's just so cool. Notice that boom, boom, very subtle because she's allowing the body to carry a little bit heavier there. Eye contact. She's always been a great performer as well. Hitting it through. So for these, for getting select group, a lot of times it'll be if the choreographer knows you and they know that you're in the class and they know that this is the style that you do, and you've worked together. 9 times out of 10, they'll probably call you out. Totally fine. Also, if you are very clean. So if you do the choreography correct, and that does include doing the groove correctly too. And a lot of times, depending on the type of group, a lot of times some choreographers like to mix genders, like getting some guys, some girls, and sometimes they like an all-female group, sometimes they like an all-male group, sometimes they're like, sometimes they just leave it up, hey, I want 5 people. So it really just depends. I love this group. It does feel like it's a curated group. It's not just regular 5 people. I think she picked them, which is super cool though. Yeah, I love that boom. Digging it through, pas de bourrée. Look at the energy though. Everybody getting to have their own energy. Notice not everybody, it's clean, like their lower body is clean, but everybody holds it down in a different way individually. And that's what makes it so enjoyable. That right there. Low key, this does look like a different choreo in comparison to when Kirsten did it. Is that okay? Yeah, the schema's there, but everyone's interpreting it differently. It's class, right? And that's the tricky part when you do cameras. This part right here, they're about to have that little accent right there. They're communicating. That right there. Boom. They go around. That was smooth. And then right here, we have our guys about to hold it down. It feels communal. I love it. And that's what I love about this style too, is that it feels like we're, yeah, nice little happy, nice little happy feet. That was super fun. Actually, no, I don't think that was a happy feet. Oh my gosh, da-da-da. Was that pounce? It's not a pouncing cat. It's an afro move. I forgot what it's called. It's gonna bother me. Anyway, I've seen it before. I love it. They're all living in it. Kirsten is living in it too. It's fun for her to see everybody enjoy the class. That was really enjoyable. Yeah, that was fun. Oh, okay. Yeah. So notice they take a more full out. Like if you think about it, this is giving more, what's the word? Just full out. This is giving more monsters to me. Like when you see a Monsters full out choreo, like if this was performed at Monsters, people who'd be on Monsters cast or assisting, they go off like this. So that's what that reminds me of. That's kind of the best way to describe it. It's so fun though. Very full. It is hard to look this full and go this full. It is. Part of me wishes my body trained to go that full. But sometimes my body, I think I am, but I'm not. It is so fun watching them. Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. Yep. Love it. Great moment. Great moment there. Yeah. So notice here, sometimes too in the structure of the video, you get to like the teacher with the assistants or the teacher with the top select, and then you have a secondary select crew, and then the longer you go through a video, this one is just looking like it's just straight select crews, which is fine, but a lot of times they're going to go from select group and then they expand it out to show more and more people. It's kind of your like go-to structure of your video, because I mean, I don't think Kirsten didn't make this. Like whoever is, it used to be Tim Milgram. If you didn't know Tim Milgram, he was the go-to video guy in the early era of Millennium, but now he has his own spot called T Millie Studios. So, and you know, I get it. He totally made a whole brand. He is one of the guys that made this open class structured video format. It's Tim Milgram. So, whether the good and the bad that comes from it, you know, and that's whatever. But in this context, you can tell that with them, they're doing the choreo, they're clean, right? And that's just, you know, sometimes you get a group where they're doing it clean. Now, does it look implicit? No, it doesn't look like it's like part of their regular genre exploration, but they're holding it down really, really well, right? But they're doing it very, very nice. Very full in energy. Everything is seen within the fullness. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's much more. It is easier to see what's going on here. Da 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 dee 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 dee. Cool. Once again, dee 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 da 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 da. Yep, I'm a fan of that. Picking it through. Okay, sir. Great upper body strength to be able to hold that syncopation, man. Now, notice in this regard, not everybody was doing. With these individuals, it didn't feel as communal as what you saw from the first couple of groups, right? It felt like we were dancing, enjoying our time. Here it's he's the last guy on the dance floor, hanging it out. Nice little dip at the end. Super dope. Cool class. This is cool class. I mean, for me, I don't really like being very real. When I travel and I do work now, or when I go places, I don't really make time to go take classes, like physical in-person classes as much anymore. 2017 or like 2021. No, honestly, 2017 to 2020, whenever pandemic hit, was when that was my go-to training era in like actually physically going places. But now I have convention circuits I can take class in. Not only that, I do online a lot, and there's a lot of polls that come out nowadays too on Patreon. And, you know, I get a lot of my training in from learning choreographies from what's requested, which I think is really fun. But this would be a class that I think I would have enjoyed being in. Yeah, because I'm going to be very real with you. When I was at Millennium, I did buy, to put it lightly, I bought a 10-class punch card, and I sold 5 of the classes because I only, you know, took like 5 classes, and most of them I didn't enjoy. But it's because it has nothing to do with the teachers. It has everything to do with like environment too. For me, I vibed more on the community side. So it was when Kinjas had their dojo studio in Monterey Park. I spent most of my time there and at Snow Globe Perspective, and unfortunately both of those spots are now closed, which really sucks because those were like a part of a lot of firsts for me. First time getting called out in a select group was at Snow Globe. I remember that. And then also getting called out in a class in at Monterey Park too. Like, it was like I had a lot of special moments in those spots of being like not working hard, but just training with people. And I kind of felt safer to make mistakes in those spaces. Here, it's because Millennium is it's so nationally known and internationally known. It's the Red Room, right? It's the mentality is a little different depending on who you take class from. So like, I did take a class from Kyle Hanagami, and it was his Taylor Swift one, actually. And it was great. I will say, being in a room like that, like being in a class like that, your choreo retention skyrockets because you're in survival mode and you get inspired and influenced by so many people around you. I grew so much in the 2 weeks I was in LA way back, to where like my movement quality was very different. I did lose a lot of weight too because I was barely eating anything because of where I was staying to go take class. I was taking Metro. It just took too long to carry food anywhere. But so it's just, I'm just in a different part of my life now where I don't have as much of a desire to take like 5 classes in a row like I used to. And maybe it's because I'm older. I'm not sure, but my retention is definitely like, I think these types of environments for that. But really just looking at it, Kirsten, like this would motivate me. Like if I was in town and Kirsten was hosting a masterclass, I would be way more inept to want to take it just because of what I know about her now, but also just seeing her class. It just looks so fun, you know? It looks fun. It doesn't look like we're there to be perfect. We're there to enjoy our time together. And I liked this. This was great. We like Beth and we like Beth's choice. Beth did a great job on our reaction request, right? This was great. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch, and thank you, Beth, for the recommendation. This was wonderful, and I'm excited for all the future recommendations you're going to be bringing for us. And if you want to see more content, I have a ton of Kirsten content specifically through her time through the Street Woman Fighter Season 2, as well as with Street Dance Girl Fighter. I have a ton of that there, and of course, any of her choreographic affiliates. A lot of times I have some choreography that she's been a part of on here and analyzed because of her affiliations in those ways. If you want to see that, I have it on YouTube, but if you want to see things early as I record them, Patreon's the best place to do that. I put out probably about 5 times more content on Patreon than I do on YouTube. So but if that intrigues you, it's there. If not, that's fine. I'm totally fine with the comments on both sides. Discussions are great, and this was awesome. Once again, my name is Jess. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.